What is going on, everybody? Live to you from my workplace. It is the Beer Battered Sports Podcast, the podcast created by sports fans for sports fans because we believe that we are the most qualified people to talk about your favorite teams. I am your currently very busy co host, Isaac.
And I'm Kylie.
I'm your other busy co-host, Calvin, aka 40.
Yeah. This podcast, today's episode is brought to you by work. Sometimes we can't call out to do the show, but it's okay because
Yep.
we're bringing it to you today live. With that being said, it is a very busy day here at the restaurant, so I am going to be in and out for a bit, but that's not going to stop us from putting on a great show. We're going to be talking all about baseball, the race to the postseason. Well, they are. I have tables to deal with. We'll be talking about week one of the NFL, which was crazy, exciting, some great games, and then some tragedy striking certain organizations. And we're going to finish it up with our week two game picks. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and put myself on mute so I can deal with some customers. You guys can go ahead and start discussing baseball. Have at it.
Okay. So, before we get into baseball, there's one quick NBA news thing that dropped like an hour or two ago. The NBA, there was discussions about it the past couple of days, but it's official. The NBA Board of Governors has voted to approve new rules strengthening resting policy rules and punishments for star players that include national TV games, in-season tournament games, and sitting out multiple all-stars together in regular season games. Basically preventing the load management because the fans have been complaining forever that stars just randomly just don't play. So I get it.
That's it's actually about time they did that. Should have done it a long time ago, if you ask me.
Yeah, 100%. It's something that I mean it's kind of ridiculous, and I get it. It's a long season, and there's injury concerns with players like Kawhi Leonard, Joel Embiid, to name a couple. Like I get why you rest players, but at the same time, you gotta play as many games as you can. If you're able to play, you play.
And not only that, it's kind of something like the late great Kobe Bryant said. Um, he said there could be a kid or a person who came to that game and they're seeing you for the first time ever, and this is the only time they'll ever be able to see you in a basketball game, and you'll be in sweatpants and a sweatshirt that day, and you'll ruin that whole kid's day all because you didn't play that game that day, all because you wanted to rest or you needed quote unquote rest.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, it is a long season. But baseball players play 162 games. A lot of them play every single day. So obviously it's very different in terms of physicality, but you gotta play. Michael Jordan was playing. Even Michael Jordan, he was the owner of the Hornets, was saying if you're able to play all 82, you're playing all 82. That's what you're paid to do.
As well, like you said, baseball players 162 games a year. Yes, it's definitely a lot different physicality wise and things of that nature, but swinging a bat every day 4 to 5 times a day is not an easy task.
No, absolutely not. And hitting a baseball 400 and however many feet it defies the laws of everything science.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's the only really news thing that's been going on. Harden to the Clippers is I don't know if it's gaining traction or something, but I see a whole bunch of Sixers fans like tweeting out soon or whatever. So we'll see with that. Um, I couldn't care less. The Sixers that this season is just a wash for us. Basically, like a hope we'll get to the playoffs, but second round exit at best again.
Depending on what happens with Harden, I'll be honest with you. I don't even know if you guys make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm not sold. I'm not sold on it at all. I mean, I love Nick Nurse, but there's only so much a coach can do. So,
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, it's unfortunate, but we'll see what happens. I guess they're pulling a Mets and washing out the next year and going all in for the year after. I guess I don't know.
As a fan, though, stuff like that sucks to see. Like, I can relate to that with my Mets. Last year we have a great year. This year we take a fall off year, and it's like, well, the owner's already told us, the general manager's already told us that he doesn't plan on having a winning season until 2025. So it's just like Mets fans scratching their heads, So definitely sucks to see.
Yeah, that's a perfect segue into our baseball talk because, yeah, they already washed off the next 2 years, pretty much, potentially 2 years. So, I mean, other than the Mets, we have a whole bunch of playoff races. We have Matt Olson right now on the Braves, who's just going stupid. Dude has tied the single season home run record for the Braves. At 51.
Yeah, I was gonna say 51. I know there's not a lot of games left, but I've seen crazier things happen. Who knows? He could tie Judge's record from last year. I'm not counting it out yet because, like I said, I've seen crazier things happen. And, that we could get a game where he hits 2 or 3 home runs in one game and puts him closer to that mark.
Yeah, if Matt Olson, if the Braves play the Phillies 4 more times this season, 1 including tonight, so like he could easily get to Judge's record.
I hope he doesn't. But that being said, I'm still really impressed. Matt Olson kind of came out of nowhere this year, and I wasn't even really paying attention to him until I suddenly one of my friends hit me up. He's like, "Hey, should I bet on him hitting a home run?"
Yes.
We got some Wi-Fi delays. This is hilarious. We got a bunch of Wi-Fi delays. No, but I could definitely see he needs 11 more home runs to tie it, and there's roughly 20 games. I'm not going to count it out. He plays the Phillies 4 more times. He could hit 8 home runs against the Phillies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know it's not a lot of games left, but like you said, there's at least 20 games left. 11 away from tying or breaking the record?
Tying.
Okay, 11 away from tying the record. I mean, we've seen a couple games this year where guys have hit 2 and 3 home runs in a game. So if he gets one of those where he hits 2 or 3 home runs in a game, like I said, it's not too far off. He could tie that record or even break it. But I was also saying it's very crazy because I think the Braves have actually 3 guys over 30 home runs this year, and that's actually insane as a team.
Let me double check that because it's something like that, and they have a crap ton of players with over 15.
Yeah, I know. I know Acuna hit his 38th last night or 37th last night. So,
yeah, he did.
I'm just letting you all know right now that I'm probably not going to be able to get any input in on this because I just had my 15th table of the day come in and we've been open 2 hours. So
okay.
It's that kind of day.
Okay. Anyway. Yeah, no, Acuna is also going stupid. That dude is my MVP pick, unfortunately. It's just has to be.
Yeah, Acuna's been very dominant this year, especially with all the steals that he has.
Exactly.
So it's not just in the batting game. He's doing it on the bases as well as out in the field. So Acuna is definitely my MVP pick too. Unfortunately, like you said.
Yeah. So with the home runs, we have Acuna with 37, Austin Riley with 34, Matt Olson with 51. Ozzy Albies just needs 1 to get to 30. He's at 29, so he'll get that. I'm counting that one. And then they have Marcelo Ozuna having 34 home runs. And that's just for the 30s, right? So then they have in just double digits, they have Travis d'Arnaud at 11, Sean Murphy at 20, Eddie Rosario at 21, Orlando Arcia at 17, Michael Harris II at 16. Like, the Braves are mashing.
Yeah, Braves have a lot of great power hitters, and any given night, any one of those guys can hit home runs. With the statistics on paper like that, I mean, they obviously have to be the favorite to win the World Series.
But are you picking them?
I mean, it's an unfortunate situation because they're in my division, but I'm probably going to pick them to win the World Series. They definitely look like the best team in baseball right now.
But here's the thing. Their bullpen is suspect, and you need a good bullpen to get to the World Series, let alone win it. So that suspect bullpen, man, I'm not gonna hold my breath on them getting that far. That's the only thing.
Yeah, no, that's very true. I will agree. We have seen several times where teams have great hitters and great people that are giving us plate appearances, but if they have a terrible bullpen, it's not going to account to much.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you saw the World Series last year. We gave up a home run to Yordan Alvarez in Game 6, and that was it. So it's all about pitching. Pitching is what gets you the World Series. Offense gets you into the postseason, but pitching gets you that World Series because the bats get extremely hot come October for all these playoff teams. Like, playoff baseball is a different breed. Good baseball teams will attack your pitching and will battle every single game in a series. So you gotta watch out for that. And if it's a suspect bullpen, you're kind of scared to go to the postseason.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I actually take that back anyway because I forgot I was running with the home team. Baltimore is definitely my favorite to win the World Series right now.
I would absolutely love to see Baltimore do that if Philly can't do it, and only if. Which they're not doing it this year, but it's fine. I don't know. I just feel like because even with the Dodgers have 2 MVP players. The Braves have 2 MVP players. There's a lot of hype between the two teams. But I genuinely don't see that being the NLCS matchup at all.
Well, the thing about you guys as well, you guys have actually picked it up at the right time. Because even at the beginning of the year, when the year first started, I think I came on here and I was like, I don't know what the hell's going on with Trey Turner. Trey Turner's pissing me the hell off. Like,
Yeah.
he was a guaranteed lock last year for 1 hit every game, and then he started the season off very slow. But then these last couple of weeks here, he's hit home run after home run after home run, and so you guys have had the guys turning around at the right time. So it's all about the runs and when you can make the run, and it seems like you guys, just like last year, can maybe make a run at the right time. So I'm not going to count you guys out of it yet.
Yeah, but like the Braves, our entire pitching is suspect right now. I mean, I don't trust a single starter, and I only trust 1 or 2 bullpen pitchers right now. So I don't know.
Yeah, because what did you guys give up last night? 3 or 4 home runs? I know Acuna had one. Olsen had one.
I think Olsen did have 1.
Yeah, Michael Harris had one too, so that's 3.
Yeah, we gave up 3 or 4. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, again, your ball needs to get together.
Yeah. But you saying Baltimore is actually kind of funny because I always say that the teams with the most hype going into the postseason rarely are who you see in the end. Rarely.
Yeah, that's very true. But the thing is, I don't really think Baltimore has a lot of hype around them right now. Even with the season that they're having, nobody's expecting them to win a World Series still.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody's expecting it. And I there's hype around here obviously, so it's kind of hard to say there's no hype, but I have not really seen that much media coverage. I see a crap ton about the Braves, a crap ton about the Dodgers. That's all you see. So,
Astros too. I've seen a lot about the Astros.
you said what?
I said the Astros as well. I've seen a lot about the Astros.
Yeah, and it's pissing me off a lot to see that. But I don't know. I feel like all the hype teams just don't get it done. And I want to say the last team in any sport to do it, like Denver, because everybody was saying Denver's going to do it this year. But you also saw a lot of people not taking them serious. Me. So even then, it's like, you just don't. The hyped teams just don't do it ever.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. But I also like to look at it in the actual like statistical standpoint. And baseball is a game of runs. And
Yep.
I feel like I've seen Baltimore go on enough runs this year that I know that they can make runs in the playoffs. Even down 4-0, 5-0 in games, I've seen them come back. The other day against the Cardinals, they were down 5-0 and they came back and won that game 9-5. So, I've seen Baltimore do enough and show me enough to the point that I know that they can make a couple runs in the playoffs here.
Yeah, Baltimore is one of those teams I'm looking at that's probably going to be the best case to win the AL the way that they've been playing. They're still a young team, though, so I don't expect them to go on a super deep run. I don't expect them to win the
I
World
was going to
Series.
say that.
But like we saw last year, Philadelphia has a young team, and they went on a run and made the World Series. It's entirely possible. But the way the Braves are playing right now, I don't see anybody beating them. But if we do get an Atlanta-Baltimore World Series, I would love it.
See, but Atlanta's bullpen is so suspect right now. They were up 6-1, and we blew it
That's
because
true.
our bullpen is suspect. But their bullpen blows it all the time, and I'm not. It's hard to say I'm not buying the hype because the Braves are damn good, and they won a World Series 2 years ago. So it's not like I'm saying I don't understand it, but I'm not fully convinced.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I can agree with you on that. Just because, like you said, I mean, being up 6-1 and then blowing a lead like that, that's unacceptable. If you're up 6-1, you should be able to hold that lead and make it 10-1 or 12-1 or something of that nature. But you know, like you said, a good bullpen is going to take you a long way.
Yeah, bullpen pitching wins you championships, and I mean, you saw how dominant the Phillies offense was in the postseason last year. The Astros pitching shuts them down. Absolutely shut them down. So,
another team as well that I'm not counting out are the Rangers. I know the Rangers as well have had a couple bullpen issues lately, but the Rangers are a team that have impressed me a lot this year, and I've seen them as well. Like I was saying with Baltimore, I've seen Baltimore go on some runs this year. I've seen the Rangers go on a couple runs this year as well. So I'm definitely not counting out the Rangers when it comes to the World Series.
well, right now the Rangers are a half game up in the wild card. I mean, Tampa's running away with the first wild card spot, but that's just because Baltimore. It's literally going to be between Baltimore and Tampa. Baltimore right now is 3 games up in the AL East, so they've it's going to be between those two, whoever just kind of finishes it out. And then, but the thing is though, Baltimore is such a young team. Do you really want them to have that week off between the last game and the ALDS, or do you want them to kind of have what the Phillies had last year and what the Padres had last year and have that kind of extra 3 games to really kind of get the bats still going, keep the momentum up a little bit? Because they're a young team. That's my only concern.
Yeah, I can agree with that, but I also feel like nowadays in any sport, we're seeing the young teams mesh together a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
Like you can like Memphis and before John Moran and those guys, we looked at Memphis as seventh seed, eighth seed, not even making the playoffs type of team. And now, ever since John Morant and those young guys have gotten there, they're pushing between the 1 and the 4 seed every year and competing for the 1 and the 4 seed literally every year, year in and year out. So, a lot of these young guys are meshing a lot better together nowadays in all sports. So I think, them being a young team, you do have that scare of a couple of days off. Will it affect them? But then you also have the excitement of, all right, these guys are young guys, so a couple of days off may actually even give them more of a refresher and have them come out here and perform a lot better.
Yeah, literally, it's really a debatable thing because you have both sides that are actually like making good points. You got the youth being able to bounce back with a week off, and the youth needing those 3 games. So it's something that'll be interesting to watch for with the new playoff structure. Because last year, we saw the Phillies and the Padres in the NLCS. The ALCS was the Yankees and the Astros, and I don't remember if the Yankees played the wild card that year. Yeah, they did. Did they? No, it was Cleveland and Tampa. So no, my bad. But the NL side, it was the 2 wild card spots getting that championship series appearance. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens this year. Postseason baseball is the best time of the year.
Yeah,
Anything can
baseball. I think postseason baseball is going to be very exciting this year, especially because we'll have some new faces in the postseason, such as Baltimore.
Yeah.
The Rangers as well. Rangers have been out of the playoffs for a couple of years. So I think that we'll have a lot of exciting times in the playoffs this year, as well as a lot of bombs. I think we're going to have a lot of home runs in this playoff series.
I was going to say, speaking of, oh my God, how do you not catch that? I have the Rays Twins game on, and I thought that was a home run, but then it was a foul out, but it turned into a triple because you can't catch. What?
Who was it that hit the triple?
It was the first guy in the second inning. I'll check when we're done. But who plays right field for the Twins? I can't. That's crazy. How does he not catch that? How do you know? That's crazy. Anyway, so this is also a race because the Twins are leading their division. They're really crappy division. But the rest of the AL, like the wild card, is Tampa up top. Texas is a half game up. Seattle and Toronto are at a lock, but Seattle has the tiebreaker. Boston and New York are both 7 games out. Cleveland's 11.5 games out. The Angels are 12.5 games out, and the Tigers are 13.5. So you can count out Boston, New York, Cleveland, LA, and Detroit. They're all done. It's between Seattle and Toronto for that last spot.
With 20 games left, I don't want to say I can count them out because you say they're only 7 games back. That's, like I said, baseball is a game of runs. 4 bad nights from the Mariners and 4 good nights from the Yankees or the Red Sox, and they're right back in it.
That's a fair point. That's a very fair point. You're right. But it's I'm definitely counting out the Red Sox. The Yankees probably, but I don't see the Red Sox doing it. They just can't get it done this year, I don't think.
Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to take back what I said, and I'm actually going to agree with you. From what I've seen from the Yankees and the Red Sox this year, I'm counting them out. They can't stay consistent at all.
They can't stay consistent, but at the same time, they also can go on a run. So it's literally, baseball is a weird sport.
1,000%. And the funny thing about the runs is the Yankees have brought up a lot of young prospects, I believe. So sports being so weird, it wouldn't be surprising to see the Yankees with their young prospects go on a run.
Speaking of that, though, they did lose one of their young guys, Jason Dominguez. He tore his UCL already.
Okay, well then now I'm actually going to take it back again, because that is one of the young guys I was talking about. He's
Yeah.
I didn't even know they lost him. Yeah, that's one of the young guys I was talking about, because I've seen this guy hit like a 4-day span. There's like a 4-day span where he had like 3 home runs in 4 days, and I was like, this kid is crazy. Like, where's he been?
Yeah, exactly. That's all. He did not touch home plate. Yes, he did. Anyway, they were all like, they've been trying to get these young guys up and bring in some youth and bring in some fun to that clubhouse, because they didn't have that before. They were all just, the Yankees at that point were just kind of like, I don't even know how to really explain it, how the Yankees were before they brought up the young prospects. Like, it was just.
I can explain it. You want me to explain it? It was like the clouds had parted, and suddenly it was light at the end of the tunnel. Finally, good things were happening to the Yankees. And then Jason Dominguez tore his leg muscle, and it's right back to being in a pit of despair. But it's okay though, because we swept the Red Sox for the 9/11 game. USA. It's been
UCL, not leg. But yeah, it's been a year for the Yankees. It's been a year for the Mets. And it's going to be weird having only my team in the postseason, potentially.
I bet it's fine for you.
I mean, it's fine, but it's also just kind of weird. Because a year and 2 months ago, you guys are making fun of me because my team was in shambles. And both of you guys had like 35 games up in your divisions. The irony is not lost on me.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, we'll see.
Well, with that being said, guys, I think it's time we start talking about the big story this week, week 1 of the NFL. I appreciate you guys putting up with me. It has been so busy today, but we're doing good. So, where to start? I think there were so many.
Aaron Rodgers, you got to start there.
Yeah, got to start.
So, when Brett Favre joined the Jets after playing for the Packers, the last time this happened, he at least lasted an entire season or almost an entire season before he got hurt. Aaron Rodgers lasted 4 plays. Torn Achilles, out for the season, career may be over. The Jets somehow won because apparently Garrett Wilson made the catch of the year already, and their rookie had that punt return so bombastic that, Calvin, you were saying it was scripted. That was, but yet the Jets are and yet the Jets aren't even celebrating the win. For the Jets, this is a loss. They lost the guy who was going to turn their franchise around, and I'll give them credit. Their defense played an immaculate game against the Bills. They shut down Josh Allen. They kept them in it, even though Zach Wilson was trying his best to destroy their chances. But man, you gotta wonder if Aaron Rodgers doesn't tear his Achilles, it's definitely not going to overtime, and more likely the Jets are not going to be in the situation that they're in right now.
I'm being mocked.
Just I think technical difficulties. Here we go.
Are we good?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Am I good? Technical difficulties.
Why is it
Technical difficulties. Sorry.
I'll start with this. It's very sad to see. Aaron Rodgers, she's my favorite. Well, one of my favorite quarterbacks because Lamar Jackson's taking over that for everyone. Lamar Jackson's my favorite quarterback, but Rodgers being my second favorite quarterback, it's sad to see as a Rodgers fan. It is very unfortunate, and honestly, I think his career is over. As sad as it is to say. Being 39 years old, I don't think you come back from this injury, and if you do, you're a robot, and it would be crazy to see him come back from this. So I'll start with that. It is very sad to see because I think his career is over, which sucks because I actually wanted to see what he could do with his Jets team. I wanted to see what he was going to do with his new team in general. Like Isaac said, if he's in that game, I don't even think they go to overtime. The Jets exposed Josh Allen, and we saw exactly what Josh Allen is made of anyway. I think he's pure garbage. He's been garbage for a while. I think he's just a more athletic version of Jameis Winston. He still throws as many interceptions as Jameis Winston. He's just a little bit more athletic. But that being said, it's very sad for the Jets and Jets fans. I hate that for them. I hate that their season had to start that way, and I hope that they can find a veteran out there that can come save their team because I don't think Zach Wilson is going to be the answer right now. He was supposed to be learning this year, and now he has to be thrown right back into the fire again. So, and five more primetime games. I don't think Zach Wilson is the quarterback you want to see on 5 more primetime games, even as an NFL fan. So they need to go find a veteran that is going to be able to take them a little bit farther than Zach Wilson may be able to take them. But at the end of the day, I can't say that I'm going to lose faith in the guy because he did come out with a victory in game 1. But again, I think that was a little scripted. But, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, we know how you feel about them scripted games. We'll see though. I mean, it's early. The Jets are still talking to veteran quarterbacks. I mean, this morning they were the Jets. The Get Up was talking about the Jets and Zach Wilson and how this dude was saying Nick Foles all because of the one really good 4 games that he had.
Pardon?
Yeah, they were saying Nick Foles. They were saying get Nick Foles.
Oh, get Nick
This
Foles.
morning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought they were comparing Zach
get
Wilson to Nick Foles. I was about to lose my shit.
Yeah, I know. Some were saying Carson Wentz, which would be really funny. So I mean, you got Commanders fans.
They're better off just sticking with Zach Wilson if they're going to go get Carson Wentz. They might as well just stick with Zach.
Why are you like this? Stop.
If you want me to be honest with you guys, though, and everybody's going to crucify me for this, but their best option is Cam Newton.
That would be an interesting quarterback for them to go after. I'd be very interested to see what happens with that. Some Commanders fans were saying, like, trade Jacoby. And then the other half of y'all were saying, we don't know, we haven't Howell yet. Do not trade Jacoby.
Trade Jacoby for what? What would the Jets be giving us in return?
That's not for me to figure out. And then
So
Eagles
here's
fans,
what I'm curious. Go ahead.
I was going to say
Go
Eagles
ahead.
fans are trying to send off Mariota any way we can.
I could see Mariota working with the Jets. Honestly.
Mariota's awful. Cam can't run that kind of offense. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see at least how it happens.
Jacoby Brissett usually does quite well in emergency situations, so I wouldn't be opposed to the Jets trying to go with him. But they need somebody because Zach Wilson is not it.
Wait. No. Why can't Cam Newton run that offense?
He got exposed.
Why can't Cam Newton run that offense? Like, everybody forgets the talent that Cam Newton has. Let's not forget that Cam Newton is the only player from that 2011 Auburn team. Cam Newton is the only player from that 2011 Auburn team to play in the NFL for longer than a season.
Brother,
Cam
do
Newton
you
is
know how
also
long 2011 was?
okay. Cam Newton is also the same quarterback that won an MVP with Ted Ginn Jr. as his number one receiver.
What year was
And
that?
went 15-1.
What year?
2015. Okay, that's 8 years
All
ago.
right
But
then.
still, talent-wise, Cam Newton is better than Nick Foles. Cam Newton is better than all those guys in the free agency, talent-wise. And with the talent that the Jets have, you're telling me Cam Newton can't run that offense? The man has Garrett Wilson. We just saw Breece Hall. And everybody wants to say DeMar Hamlin comeback player of the year. I said Lamar Jackson, but Breece Hall has shown us that he has a case for comeback player of the year after that Week 1 performance that he just gave us. So with as much talent as the Jets have on that offense, Cam Newton can run that offense 100%.
Here's the thing, though. No matter who they get, I really feel like it should be a free agent because you already sent so much just to get Aaron Rodgers. You'd kind of be like the Panthers in a sense that like they traded to get they traded a lot to get the number 1 overall pick. They traded a lot to get all these things, and they traded McCaffrey, but they don't have. They traded for Sam Darnold. Let's not forget that. So they kept trading for quarterbacks. I think they should get a quarterback that's in free agency. I don't think they should, or just see what Zach Wilson can do under Aaron Rodgers kind of coaching him. Because I don't see Aaron Rodgers not being with the team, regardless.
I say that they keep Zach Wilson as a starter right now, and they should probably just bring Joe Flacco back in. He already knows that offense. Veteran guy, you know. He's played for Robert Saleh before. He could be a very solid backup, especially already knowing that offense. And if Zach Wilson doesn't live up to the standard that the Jets won this year, then, you know, pulling Joe Flacco back into the same offense he already knows wouldn't be a bad idea.
I just don't see Joe Flacco doing anything either. It'd be funny to see Wentz. It would be funny. I would love to see that.
Yeah, well, if they get Wentz,
I think the ship has sailed on Carson Wentz.
Zach Wilson is better than Carson Wentz.
I could get behind that easily, yeah.
I don't know about that one, but I do think Carson Wentz's ship has sailed.
Listen, when Carson Wentz first started, when he first started his career, I would have never said that. But now, this day and age, Zach Wilson is better than Carson Wentz.
I could get behind that. I'm not 100,000% sold on it, but I could definitely get behind that almost. But they could also just like kind of hope that whatever Rodgers gave Wilson in the terms of like helping him mentally develop and stuff. I mean, you don't want to waste the prospect of this season because this season looked to be a very good one. I mean, people were saying they're going to win the division. They're going to take it over the Bills, which we'll get to the Bills in a second because what the hell was that?
Miami.
Yeah, I could definitely see Miami taking it, but it's week 1. You can't really base everything off of week 1. Crazy things happen every time. The Cowboys scored 40
with one
points.
exception. With one exception. The Giants are shit. That is the one exception. That's the one takeaway one that we can all agree on.
Well, I said that last week when we had the episode and no one was on here. I said the Giants don't even know what they got going on in their front office.
I heard you say that, yeah.
They gave Daniel Jones $1 gazillion and left Saquon with $11 million. That's where they first fucked up. Excuse my language, but yeah, that's where they messed up at first, is giving Daniel Jones $1 gazillion and not paying Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, no, Daniel Jones is not that good.
He's not. He's terrible. And here's the thing that really pisses me off. Last year, the Giants figured out how to use Daniel Jones because they discovered he can't throw, but he can run. So let's just run a quarterback option all the time with Daniel Jones, and we'll be fine. That's how they were able to sneak into the playoffs. Well, everybody's seen the tape and knows what they're doing. The Cowboys, I think, the Giants got one good drive in the first quarter. They drove down the field. They were doing exactly what they did last year. Saquon and Daniel Jones running the ball. They stalled the second they tried to pass. Cowboys returned to that blocked field goal. It was over. And after that, the Cowboys were like, okay, they haven't changed their scheme at all. They're doing the exact same thing that they did last year. Let's just do what we did last year against the Giants, and it worked. It honestly pisses me off. It was hilarious. My brother and I were texting back and forth during that game. Just spazzed out, didn't I? Yeah, there we go. Technical difficulties. All right, talk amongst yourselves.
But I mean, aside from the whole Aaron Rodgers Jets thing, that's just been talked to death for a week, not even a week, for a few days now. We don't know what they're gonna do. There's a whole bunch they can do, but let's go into every other game because not in detail, but I mean, this whole week was crazy. You had the Lions beating the Chiefs. You had the Cowboys just destroying the Giants.
I called that Lions Chiefs too.
You did.
I just had a feeling, and people forget Jared Goff. Jared Goff has actually beat the Chiefs before when he was with the Rams, and they had that crazy 54-51 game.
That was a great game.
Yep, and Jared Goff is actually 2-0 or 3-0 against Patrick Mahomes now at this point.
Oh wow!
So, I never counted the Lions out of that game ever, due to the fact that they are a truly rebranded team.
They definitely are rebranded, and I'm excited to see because the Lions fans deserve it. They've been through so much crap, and I mean they just haven't had anything good going for them in forever. So hopefully this is the turn that they needed, and it looked crappy in the offseason because of all the suspensions, but hopefully now, even though with that, they're still going to be good because, man, the fans deserve it. And I just want to defend one game that I leave me alone about the Bears. Leave me alone about the Bears.
No, Kylie, we will never forget that pick. The Bears could have used that first overall pick. I'm just saying, because they were the same old Bears against the Packers. I don't know. They could have used it on somebody. Maybe some protection for Justin Fields. Maybe a better quarterback because Justin Fields is shit.
I'm not going to call him shit after one game, 1 week.
1 week? He's been playing there for like 2 years now and has been terrible. Wait, last year? No, last year was his first year. Yeah, he's terrible. I don't understand why everybody wants to point out the flaws with the Bears being everything but the quarterback, when the quarterback is their issue. It's just my take.
I usually don't like to agree with that, but I can agree with that because we've seen with a lot of other quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson, for example, his number one receiver was a tight end for 5 years, and he dominated the league for 5 years with the number one receiver, tight end as his number one receiver. I would like to think that the Bears have had a lot more talent at receiver than the Ravens have had over the last 5 years, and Justin Fields has not done anything in his 2 years yet with the talent that he has had.
Yeah, we'll see. The Raiders Broncos game. The Broncos just. Does Russell Wilson suck now?
Yes. Ever since he had that hand surgery, he's just completely ass. I don't know what turned into him, what got into him.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Russ. Like, the Broncos are just.
The Broncos were playing dirty on Sunday. I was watching highlights of that game. The Broncos were taking cheap shots at the Raiders all day. They had this hit on Jacoby Myers that knocked him out, and I thought he was paralyzed for a second. I thought we were about to get another DeMar Hamlin situation. I'm so glad the Raiders won because the Broncos, I mean, that's what happens when you hire Sean Payton as your head coach. Just putting that out there.
Sean Payton.
Yeah. I do want to give a shout out to two teams, though. One individual, actually, two teams. First, the Bucks. I doubted them. Everyone doubted them. But Baker baked, and we upset the Vikings.
Not me. Not me.
You didn't, Kylie. You had faith in the Bucks. We all picked the
You know I doubted
Vikings,
him. I
though.
fucking hate Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, you hate Baker, but I'm telling y'all, just give him a second for this one.
And I want to give a special shout out to another team too, the Los Angeles Rams. I don't know if y'all saw that, but they were down 13-7 at the half to Seahawks. They didn't let Seattle score at all in the second half. I don't know who Puka Nacua is, but I added him to my fantasy team because this dude had like 15 catches for 160 yards, went off. I'll tell you, the Rams, like, they made a statement. They were like, you know what? We had a bad year last year. We're reminding everybody that we were Super Bowl champs 2 years ago. Let's do this.
Yeah,
Well,
I
they
can't believe it was
got
only
their
2 years ago.
conductor back.
It's true, they did. Now, the 49, the
I don't know why I keep
49ers Steelers game was,
getting knocked off the call. That's annoying. But
the Steelers 49ers game was not as close as I thought it was going to be.
I think we
That was
all thought the Steelers had a
absolutely-
chance.
hmm
I 100% thought the Steelers at least had a chance.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't come out and they didn't show up at all. Like, they must have thought the game was on Monday or something because they did not come to play on Sunday.
Absolutely not. They did not. And phew, I don't know. Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season, so we'll see.
Now we lost Kylie.
I'm telling you, Kylie's the one who's having the technical issues because I'm fine. I don't know why it's her.
That was me. I
She's the one-
accidentally kicked out. That was on me.
Wow, Kylie. Wow.
My bad.
Well, I think we should, unless anybody else have any other comments on week one, because if not, I think we're going to do our week 2 game pick. Anyone else want to shout out any teams? Because there were some performances I think we're missing.
Jalen Carter is a dog. That's all I'm gonna
I want to shout out somebody from my team, Montez Sweat.
say. Sweat.
Montez Sweat had a absolutely incredible career day against Arizona. I wasn't impressed with the win. I mean, a win's a win. I'm glad that we got the win, but I wasn't impressed with the win at all. I will say, though, my defense looked very impressive. We did not let up a defensive touchdown. The Cardinals' touchdown actually came from Sam Howell's stupid-ass fumble. I will say I'm very impressed with my defense, and I was very impressed with Montez Sweat. Yeah, very, very great career day for Montez. So shout out to Montez Sweat.
Yeah, agreed. With that
That's
being
game
said,
picks.
all right, so week 2, we got some interesting matchups for week 2. We got a couple of playoff rematches. We're going to start with Thursday night with a good old-fashioned NFC Rumble. Eagles versus Vikings. Fun game. I'm going to pick Philly. I think they were a little shaky at open week 1, but I think they'll be a lot better in week 2. I'll take Philly to win this one.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Vikings. No hate
Oh,
to Philly.
boy.
I'm not. It's nothing against Philadelphia at all. Philadelphia, great team. You know, they were the hosts for the NFC in the Super Bowl last year. They did look great on that first couple series in week 1. Then they looked a little shaky the rest of the game. But you know, overall they're a great team. But I just feel like the Vikings are gonna turn it around this week, based on, you know, them coming out last week and blowing it and shit in the bed the way that they did. They should have beaten that Buccaneers team by at least 10 points plus. So I just think that they're going to come out this Thursday and shock the world. I feel like everybody's going to be picking Philadelphia to win this game, and the Vikings are going to turn it around and shock the world, and we'll see a big game. We'll actually see a big game out of Jordan Addison this week, not Justin Jefferson, due to the fact that the Philadelphia Eagles will probably be having 2 guys over top as well as a cornerback on Justin Jefferson the whole entire game.
Primetime Kirk, though.
Yeah, that's it. Pick him up. Right over there.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
All right, guys. So our next game, moving on to the early games for Sunday, we're going to start things off with the Packers and the Falcons, two young teams. This is a fun one. I'm going to take the Packers. Jordan Love didn't really do anything outstanding, but he played well. And I think going up against a Falcons team who I can't remember, the Falcons look good too. Bijan Robinson looks great.
Yeah.
But it comes down, I think, to who's got the better quarterback, and I think Jordan Love played better in week 1, so I'm going to take the Packers over Desmond Ritter's Falcons.
I'm going Pack too.
Calvin turned into a robot. What'd you say?
I think he said Packers too.
Okay. All right.
I said Packers.
Gotcha.
He did say Packers.
Gotcha. All right, next up, Buffalo versus the Raiders. Jimmy Garoppolo going in to face the Bills to see if they can rebound. Buffalo really disappointed me in week 1. With that being
Me
said,
too.
they're playing a Josh McDaniels-led offense, so I'm taking the Bills.
I'm going Buffalo. Or no, I'm going Raiders. I don't know why I'm going Buffalo. Or
Going Raiders, okay.
I'm going Vegas. Vegas. Jesus.
Calvin, who you got?
And he's still having technical difficulties.
I think we lost 40 guys.
Yeah, he'll have to text us when we're done. Who's next?
Next up, we've got an AFC wildcard rematch and a good rivalry match, Baltimore versus Cincinnati. Oh, I think there he is. There he is.
Damn,
Wait,
back-to-back
did you
Jags.
guys hear my Raiders pick? I'm going Raiders.
No, we did not.
Going Raiders.
take-
Okay.
Raiders? All right. I will not be surprised if the Raiders upset Buffalo because Buffalo played so poorly on Monday. Part of me, I'm still taking the Bills. I know. All right, Baltimore, Cincinnati, wild card game rematch, fierce rivalry, first real test for Lamar Jackson's new contract.
Baltimore.
And based on what I saw on Sunday, give me Baltimore. Cincinnati looked, I don't know what the problem was. I don't know if it was the bad weather in Cleveland. I don't know if it was that Cleveland is suddenly goated, but give me Baltimore. The losing J.K.
It's 'cause
Dobbins hurts, but they're still going to kick ass.
It's because Jamar Chase was talking all that shit. That's why they lost.
I don't even feel like I need to tell you guys who I'm going with. But I do feel like this is a big Odell game. He only had 1 catch last game or 2 catches last game. I think this is his coming out game this week.
I like it. I like it. All right, Detroit and Seattle, 2 teams on the rise, coming off interesting weeks. This is a good one. I'm going to say Detroit keeps the momentum rolling. Seattle did not look like the same Seahawks team from last year. I think that Detroit's going to get the big win here. Kyler, you're going Detroit too. Calvin, what you got?
I'm going Detroit.
Detroit.
It's a sweep for that.
All right. This week's big must-watch game of the week, the AFC divisional rematch, Chiefs-Jags. This is a matchup that a couple years ago would have been pretty easy to predict, but now the Jags look like a complete unit, and the less we say about the Chiefs, the better. I'm going to Kansas City. I think they rebound, but Kelsey has got to come back, because if he's not back, the Chiefs are in trouble.
He's playing this week, I'm pretty sure.
Good.
So I'm going Chiefs.
Who do you got, Kat? Chiefs.
I'm going to go Chiefs.
But then I remembered I have to include the worst games. Colts, Texans. Who you guys got? I'm taking the Colts.
Colts.
I'm going Colts.
I literally almost forgot that. I'm keeping track on a piece of paper this week instead of my laptop. I almost forgot to add them. I completely forgot about Colts, Texans. But then again, everyone else has too. All right, Tampa Bay and Chicago. Is Tampa Bay and Chicago. Is Baker really going to bake, or are the Bears going to rebound? The answer is Baker is going to bake.
Bears rebound.
Go Bucks. Bears rebound? Oh, Kylie, I don't like you.
I'll be honest. I can't put my faith in that guy. I'm going with the Bears.
That Bears.
I hate you guys so much. I'm going to laugh when you guys are wrong. Baker is baking. Chargers, Titans.
You know I'm rooting for Baker's success. Chargers.
What we got with Yeah, I'm taking the Chargers. That Titans offense looked terrible. Meanwhile, the Chargers scored 34 points. Go Chargers.
Yeah, I'm going Chargers too.
Okay. moving on to the late games. First up, we've got Giants and Cardinals, arguably the two worst teams in the league playing each other, and the Cardinals are going to get an upset because the less said about the Giants, the better.
Giants.
I think the Giants bounce back this week, man. I think they bounce back this week. I'm going to go Giants.
All right. Battle of California, San Francisco, arguably the best, most complete team in the NFL right now, taking on the Rams, who are coming off a huge upset. Unfortunately, Los Angeles may have a lot of momentum, but it's the fucking 49ers. Go San Fran.
Yeah, San Fran.
San Fran.
Next up, a game that had a lot of hype before Monday Night Football, and now everyone's like, oh, brother, Dallas versus the Jets. How many points do you think the Cowboys are going to win by?
I'm going Jets upset.
I was going to say, I don't know if the Cowboys are going to score a lot this week. That Jets defense looked very impressive. And Dak Prescott did not look impressive.
Nope.
If the Jets win, I will do the Jets fight song on the air. I'm picking the Cowboys just because I don't have any faith in Zach Wilson. But if the Jets win, you heard it here first, I will do the Jets fight song on the air for the next episode. I will learn it by heart. Washington versus Denver. Are we putting our left hand up on this case? Because I am.
Left hand up, man.
Washington. And 40, we know who you're picking.
You already know who I'm picking.
Which, by the way, 40, y'all, the FedEx Field was wild during that game. It was awesome to see.
Yeah, definitely. If our offense can get it together, I think we'll be a very great team this year because our defense looks crazy.
Sunday Night Football. It's a throwback in Boston as the Patriots are wearing the old Boston Patriot uniforms as they take on the Dolphins. That being said, the Patriots looked good on Sunday, but the Dolphins looked way better. I'm going with Miami.
Give me Miami, man. I told y'all last week. Well, Kylie wasn't here, but Miami was my pick to win the AFC East. I'm going with Miami.
I can see that.
You taking Miami, Kylie?
Yep.
All right. That's going to be a good game, too. Sunday Night Football, that's a good. I know some people are looking at that and snub, but New England impressed me enough. I think that's going to be a great game.
Yeah.
All right. Monday Night Football doubleheader kicks off with my two least favorite teams, the Saints and the Panthers. I want to skip this one, but I can't. The Saints will win, but most of their players will get hurt. That's my pick.
Oh, I'm going Saints. Saints.
Yeah, I'm going Saints.
And finally, close out Monday Night Football. Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Good old-fashioned rivalry game. I'm going to take the Steelers to bounce back from their Week 1 troubles. I think Cleveland's win over Cincinnati was more about Cincinnati being shit than Cleveland being good. So I'll take the Steelers.
I can agree with that, but
Steelers didn't impress me at all. I got to go with the Browns.
I'm going with the Browns.
All right. Well, the picks are in. They'll post them later today. With that being said, Kylie, if you don't mind doing the honors of signing us off because I need to get back to work.
I got you. All right, everybody, thank you guys so much again for listening. Go check out the merch in our bio, and the link in our bio, in our Twitter bio. As always, we are brought to you by Fired Up Sports. Go check out all of their amazing podcasts, maybe some more to come. And we'll see you next week. Go Birds.
See you guys.
Shit.